Attention passengers, this is your Captain Necrosama speaking, and this week on Top Flight Reads, we're looking at XOGENASYS, a series created by Johnny O'Brien, Nicholas Draper Ivy, and Trey McIntosh. The series is published by Noir Caesar. Links in the description below will lead you to the website where you can follow the series and support the artists.
Attention passengers, we are about to prepare for takeoff. Gonna need you to put those seatbelts on, otherwise you can and will hit the seat in front of you when we pull out of this runway into the air. So we're gonna ask you to click it, stick some food in your mouth, kick back, relax, and let's get into this aerial trip. And now for something completely different.
And on this episode of Hug Kiss Sega Genesis, we have Burly Flesh Puppet number 1 about to sew a patch of pain into Burly Flesh Puppet number 2 with his "This'll Make It Bigger" needle of doom.
But the thrilling conclusion of XOGENASYS is halted by the failure of our main protagonist to pay his monthly tithe to the internet deity.
And in a bid to get his pummeling prescription filled again, this seemingly troubled teen wishes to join the slave wage labor force, where all manner of exploitation awaits him. Except for one minor detail. Mom says no.
But, Ma'am, I want to see the Hug Kiss fights like all my friends can.
We have fighting at home, Darius, because you keep challenging me on this. Go to school, boy.
Cut off from a totally healthy outlet of his blood rage, taking in more violence, Darius the Merriest takes out his violent impulses on all around him, including the sky, a sack of sand hanging on chains, and even innocent punching bags crying out for mercy.
Meanwhile, Principal Pastor expresses great concern over how Darius chooses to solve man-made problems with manslaughter, and the manner in which he wipes after himself. We're throwing you in Last Chance High School, where you will, ironically, have one last chance to avoid minority prison for minors, i.e. juvenile detention, i.e. your alma mater. Get out of my office.
Darius, full of resolve to not end up in juvie, tries to find his groovy in his new surroundings, locating escape routes and feeding fresh meat to the flamingos to avoid attention. His plans of ninja-ness are thwarted because Flamingo frontman Kenny aims to drag D-Ride, into a life of gang. But Darius won't F with you because you don't gangbang.
After longingly staring into Darius's eyes, Kenny embraces his inner Fleece Johnson and tries to give him a choice between joining the easy way or the hard way.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Aww.
Frustrated at not getting a shiny new D-Ride to terrorize the masses with, Kenny and the Flaming Goes do that exact thing, which is of course taking place across from where Darius happens to be passing through after school. Contrary to his past punch-filled permanent record, Darius actually tries to be diplomatic and avoid damaging altercation, but Calamitos, Kenny, is still crying about not getting his way. So he beats on Darius, because surely that is how you convince someone to join your criminal organization. Non-consensual beatdown.
And here we have the physical embodiment of every Dragon Ball Z AMV ever uploaded to YouTube over a sequence of pages 24 to 32. And my battle manga fetish grew 3 sizes that day. Oh my, insert deity here, that glare is violently gorgeous. I can't believe I have to say this.
Oh, right. He has a younger sister.
Who both chastises Darius for fighting and, barely a page later, excitedly desires to learn the ultimate martial art of frick you up Shinken from him.
And in a power pitch dictated by the fuzz, any and all opportunity to do so is stripped from young Darius as he struck out and cost Team Home Life the entire baseball game. Wait. Well, now it's off to Deus Ex prison, so Darius' situation can be miraculously turned around with his notable fighting skills by some sympathetic benefactor.
As Darius, the destroyer of worlds, reflects on his life staring into a one-way glass, the glass stares back with pimp-like opportunity. Either this Mustafa has his own plans for exploiting Scrappy the Boy Wonder, or my name's Aloysius.
Wait. Looks over to page 47. Pretty sure we were joking about the mysterious benefactor.
Was that a good abridging or what? If you want to catch the full story, don't forget to hit that link in the description in order to see the full XOGENASYS Chapter 1 so you can have fully formed opinions like we're about to get into. Speaking of which, let's transition into that deliberation.
Alright, so we're at the part of the video where we're going to talk about our 3 sections or categories, or whatever you want to call them. Art, characters, and story. Let's take it away with art. Does anyone have anything they want to say?
Yes, actually.
Go for it, Tiza.
This series is dark. And by
It
dark,
is.
I mean the level of ink usage that's just straight black. It's definitely something that we haven't seen to this degree prior to now. And not just in flat ink, also in tones used. It just creates a dull, grayish, depressing atmosphere, which seems fitting for the setting, so I commend them for that. I respect that.
Does anyone feel like it's a little too dark, a little too gray, a little too...
Yes. I don't. I think I personally enjoy it. Somewhat of a point that Tiza said, just got done saying that it's fitting for the setting, because it is like, it's legit just a dark and gritty story that's being told here. And when I was reading through this, it reminded me, like, it seemed to me like they didn't use the traditional just like a micron or like a ink pen or like a like a G pen or something like that. It seems like they use like the ink brushes to go over their things, which I believe, in my opinion, just would fit perfectly with the story that's being told. So I was 100% okay with the darkness and grittiness of the actual art itself.
Stormray, why do you... Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead, Emiel.
No, it's alright.
Go ahead, Emiel.
We're okay. I was going to say, since this is a darker series, having the darker ink tones helps with this specifically. However, if it was like a different genre, or like supposed to be fluffy or soft, or like more of like a sparkly feel, I feel like it would be a little bit too much screen tones, but for what it's doing, it feels right.
Stormray, why do you disagree, if you do disagree?
Oh no, I agree perfectly. But my personal take on the art, I think the layout is really nice. Inking seems, and this is a personal thing, inking seems a little jagged in places, maybe a little gritty. It's very detailed though. The anatomy is very well done, especially for an indie comic. I couldn't really find any places where the anatomy looked weird. The text is too small in a lot of places, which makes it hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
The action panels are very, very, very well drawn. Pick one, like seriously, pick any one of them.
I believe there was something about the size of the font they were using.
Yeah.
Which I think we can all say there are definitely more than a handful of times where they tried to cram a whole lot of text into an area where they probably should have just like made the wording more concise so they didn't have to shrink it so much in order for it to fit in a bubble.
That or some bubbles were way bigger than the text was. For example, when the what's his name? You guys were calling him like Pasta or something or whatever. The one guy who
Principal Pasta.
that guy.
Yeah.
He said like 2 words, but he had a really big bubble to talk in. So it was just like bubbles, I guess, were I think maybe they made the bubbles before they actually put all the stuff in there. And they should have planned for the stuff a bit better.
Such as page 7?
That was
Yeah.
probably what I was talking about, to be completely honest, but I don't
There
know.
was a lot in page 7.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, because like page 7, he has like there's like bubbles that are like so full they look like they're about to like burst open, versus like other bigger bubbles that have very little in them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine like how this would look printed, because even just proportionally speaking, looking at these images online, if we could just imagine like the edge of the page is like a little bit outside where the panels are, and like that text is that same size, and having that printed in like a normal like manga volume size, like that just sounds painful to try to look at.
Yeah, we had to zoom in quite a lot to read it.
Yeah, that's definitely painful to look at. Like, I zoomed my window out just to try to get it about the size of an actual graphic novel, a printed volume. And yeah, you would definitely have some squinting to do.
Bring your monocles, you will need them.
Do you think it would be more likely that they would have monocles or magnifying glasses?
In this day and age, probably neither, but
True.
monocles sounded fancier. But as far as anything else relating to the presentation, I think one shot that really was just noteworthy, since we're still on the visual aspect, was page 24 for me.
That clicking.
I'm sorry.
Oh, the punch.
Yeah.
The punch.
Hmm.
That clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Not just me.
What specifically?
Well, two things. One of which is that when it comes to the shading on the person who got punched on the left, how they have the darkness for the part of their jacket that isn't being highlighted in light, how it kind of looks like it's made of streaks of a brush rather than just, I don't know, maybe something done digitally intentionally or something. Not really sure how to explain it, but I can see the strokes that they use for that, and then also left some more exposed areas so they can apply tone in specific areas to show like not as dark. There's a little bit of light, and then the rest is just like straight white with the remaining parts of the streaks. And also how the toning reflects on the amount of light that's reflected on the person's skin. And also just the motion that was conveyed in Darius's punch. That's the protagonist's name, by the way. But
for the fight itself, yeah, I like in general, I like the choreography of the fight itself. What do y'all think about the character designs?
it's there.
Yeah, like they weren't bad, but like there weren't anything that like completely stood out to me. But I think that's to be expected though, since this is more
Realistic.
I want to say, yeah, more realistic. So like they won't have like any crazy clothes. I mean, I think the most thing that was more out there was like the Cybertron looking dude and the two people fighting in the beginning.
It seemed a little futuristic, and then the rest of the series seemed more modern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like, again, they weren't bad, but like, it's not like insert random just out of control wardrobe here so people can cosplay it.
The characters look different enough to where you can tell who's who.
Yeah.
For the most part, however, we were having a bit of a trouble with the flamingos.
And the guy who tried. Sorry.
Two of them
no,
have
it's alright.
similar hairstyles. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are background mooks, so that's to be expected. At least to an extent.
All right. Now we're gonna move on to section 2, characters. Let's start off with main character Chan himself. Main character Kun himself.
You mean D-Ride?
D-Ride.
Darius.
He's not your typical.
However
He's not
you
your
pronounce
typical.
it. Sorry. Just go.
To me, he's not your typical
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
To me, he's not your typical hyperactive knucklehead main character. Now, yeah, he gets into trouble, but he's not the loud, I'm going to be the insert title here main character. He seems more like one of those, those Ichigos to me. He's not quiet, but he keeps to himself, and trouble seems to still find him.
He's Yusuke.
I was gonna say both.
Yusuke Ichigo combo.
Kid just trying to get by without getting in trouble, but trouble seems to find him. But he also likes to fight.
Is it a like to fight, or is it a...
He enjoys
Yes. He has no problem doing it if he needs to.
Like, he wasn't trying to fight the Flamingos, but then they kept pushing him.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't want to give you these hands, but if
I
you
have.
keep pushing me, I'm going to have to show you something real quick. I'm doing this for your own good.
I already said, the dude's Yusuke. With a little bit of actual intelligence. Mainly in the sense that he tries to avert attention to himself. But he's somehow this, like, person that's under the age of adult who can just, like, scrap with 30 guys in a group and just come out the winner. More or less effortlessly.
Because
Yusuke.
he's talented. So says other characters.
Oh, yeah. Also, he has some talent with art. That's about it. But that's hardly ever touched on.
Artists. Little sister and a mom. Wants to help mom with the bills, but is told to just focus on school.
I guess that's a bit of a stubborn streak for him. Because it sounds like they have this conversation on a regular basis.
Hard-headed teenagers are hard-headed.
From the end part of the chapter, where Darius is being talked to about maybe making his sister and his mom's lives better, you can really tell that this is on his mind, especially there, because it, like, when given the opportunity to do something that might potentially get him killed, he's still like, I will do this. It beats jail, and it beats the life that they're currently living. And I think that says a lot to his character.
Yeah.
Not everyone would do that.
He's very noble, is what you're saying.
Like,
Not sure noble is the word. It's more of a selfless thing.
yeah. Because, like, yeah, it gets him out of jail. But that wasn't the selling point. That was, like, an afterthought. The main focus of that was, like, this will clear all of their debts. They'll be able to do the things they want to do. They're going to get a stack of cash on top of that, and all I have to do is risk it all, basically. Like, everything for the Gamburu. Can I win this fight? Am I actually talented, or am I going home in a body bag? Like, it says a lot about him. So, I like him. He's interesting.
He's like, all I gotta do. He's like, man, I just need to get some money. I need to get off these streets. And then my mind's like, well, have you tried beating their ass?
Freaking granddad, man.
Oh no.
Next character.
But even better. Oh no, you know what? I'll save it for when we get to that character. You're right. Let's go to the next character. Oh no.
Let's jump to Kenny.
What about Kenny?
Which one's Kenny?
Kenny's the first guy who's like, sup, D-Rad? And it's like, oh, heck no.
Oh,
You know, the one with the County
He's
Springer
Johnson.
haircut with the 2 teeth in it.
oh my guy. Okay.
Creepy.
That's my guy, dog.
Tell us why.
Why he your guy?
Well, cause he mean. You know, I always love the mean people, dog.
Says the guy who says he's not mean.
I'm not mean, but in fiction, I always gravitate towards the mean people because the mean people are necessary because it's that mean person that gets the main character where he needs to be. But also the thing that was interesting the most though is like I don't remember from reading it if he explicitly said like exactly why he's so adamant to get this guy to join his gang.
He said that the Darius has special hands or something like that.
So is it okay? So it was like, okay, you got them hands. We need you, and I need you by my side because you got the hands.
Right.
Yes.
You got hands. I'd rather you fight with us than against us.
Right. But it's also interesting. He's like, I whether you fight with us or gangsters, but if you don't, I'm happy to show you with my hands why you need to use your hands with us.
It's like, you remember we used to get into scraps together because you won't stop talking. You won't shut your mouth.
Oh, to answer your question, Akashic, about the can he beat his aunt? He can, and he did.
I know, as we've learned.
I would like you to know,
Go.
since they are flamingos, all of them together, he's being attacked by a flamboyance, which is not at all scary. Like, if they called themselves the Crows, then they'd be attacked by murder. But nope, being attacked by flamboyance. Good job, flamingos.
Wait, is that plural for flamingo?
Yeah. So, like, a collective noun, the gathering of flamingos is a flamboyance.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, it would be a hilarious gag if after this, Kenny somehow finds Darius and keeps insisting that he joins, and Darius has to continually beat him down, but Kenny just keeps coming back over and over again.
Could be funny potentially on how you do it, yeah. But I
don't
agree.
think we're going to see them anymore.
Hopefully the
I think
viewers
that is
get
a
the
chapter
reference.
1 thing. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Principal Pastor.
We're really calling him that.
You don't got a name.
I mean, I guess that's the best we got because he does kind of have that minister vibe to him, but I'm just like, Principal Pastor. Okay.
Does anyone have anything to say other than anything involving the wiping of someone's buttocks?
No. Yes, that's all he was there.
No,
That's
that's not his
really
entire character.
That's his entire arc.
That's 50% of his
Nope,
arc.
that's 100% because I'm gonna
No.
tell you what. This is a spoiler. He's gonna go from worried about him wiping his butt sideways to him actually wiping his butt the front ways, and then that's gonna be his entire arc.
No. He's supposed to be a pseudo father figure to Darius. That's why he's so hard on him acting stupid in the streets, don't you know?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a
I
second.
do.
Why not?
Why not?
I can see that. I can see it though, honestly.
Let me go back. Be prepared for clickies.
He seems like one of those. I don't care why you did it, but you did it, so you're in trouble.
He's like
kicking somebody's puppy. Like, I don't care. Punch him.
He's like, but sir, I did it because pause. I ain't asked you all that. You did it. So it's like
That's
I
all I
don't care about all that. What you talking right now? In one ear, out the other.
There is no gray area. Either you did it or you didn't.
Right. Did
Yeah,
you?
see? Like a good father would.
Oh gosh.
Couldn't just walk away from that, could you?
No, he was-
Antagonizing him. Do you think before you get into these fights, implying he doesn't? You want to keep putting your mother through this? Guilt. You know how this works. I've seen a gang tear through classrooms to find the guy that didn't want to do their homework. Shoulda listened. And who refuses to join them in the first place? They took that as an insult, says Darius. Oh, that's your story. No, I'm sorry. Should be apologizing. Why would I say sorry for defending myself? Gives the look back. Your school has expelled you for your last fight. Your fifth in the span of 6 weeks. I'm sending you to Rich Davison, an alternative education center for troubled youths. You frickin' troubled. And he's like,
You
know
think
this,
I
get in a
don't
fight
start
again and
these
get caught.
fights?
Do anything. Please, security on your tail. Not so much as catch you wiping your butt sideways, which apparently I guess like is his thing for like any little thing wrong. You'll be thrown indefinitely into a juvenile detention center so fast that it'll make your head spin. Once you turn 18, you'll be transferred to big boy jail, also known as jail or prison. Wiping my butt sideways. Dang, man, you don't like me, do you? Get out of my office. What the heck? Kinda.
If he was a real father figure, he would have done one of two things. He would have just got the belt, or he would have been like that teacher guy from the movie Akira and just started smacking him across the face saying, "Discipline! Discipline!
Okay, no,
discipline."
that's called abuse.
No,
and
Storm.
He probably didn't
No.
get the belt because he knows that my man's got the hands. He want them problems.
No, because he's
No.
faculty. He can't do that. That would get him
No.
fired.
Oh, he don't care
Honestly,
about that. He
I'm
don't
gonna
care
tell
about
you
that.
this because I have found out about this. Not every school has gotten rid of the paddling punishment in the U.S. And sometimes they're like, "Do you want a mark or do you want like a paddle?" And like legit, sometimes you get to pick, and that is terrifying. That's not always not gone from everywhere.
All right, so Tita called him Mustafa.
That's his name.
I thought of Mufasa.
All right, so thoughts on him?
I don't like him.
Why not?
What's wrong with him?
You don't
Okay,
like him, you
let's
don't
start
trust
off with what's right with him. First of all, he just steps in out of nowhere, paying somebody's bills that they didn't ask for assistance with, dropping this one ultimatum on this 15-year-old troubled youth who clearly just needs some proper direction in life. Like, yo, I already did all this stuff. Fight for me. Knowing full well that's going to guilt him into actually doing it, even though he's already paid for everything and moved them to a safer place. He
Yeah.
very well could have done this without having him fight, yet he's like, yo, just do this. Because he knows he can rake in even more money by making them fight.
You dang right.
This
That's
is not from a good place. This is clearly business.
No. It's mutually beneficial.
It's not mutually beneficial. He already said he did all that stuff for his mom and sister already.
Right. And that's why he did it.
No, the point is he already did it before he even agreed to fight. He clearly could have done that if he really wanted to be nice, but he doesn't.
Exactly.
He is taking advantage of this boy.
He ain't
You know
taking
what?
advantage of him.
He kind of is.
No, he ain't.
He is forcing him into a quote-unquote moral decision.
He ain't forcing him. He can still say no.
No. Like, this is guilt. He is guilting him to accept this.
That's his fault for falling for it then.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not because he's a dumb 15-year-old kid, but point is,
He 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's-
my point is,
He doesn't look.
he
it at
knows
all, but-
exactly what he's doing.
Here's the thing. I'm cool with Mustafa. First of all, the first thing we know about him is that his drip game cold. Let's get that out the way. His drip game cold. My
It's
man,
90% ink smudges.
Huh?
It is 90% ink smudges.
And that's that coldest ink smudge I've seen in my life. That boy cold. I'm trying to tell you, this boy is
But
cold.
you know what?
He went full. Akaji, he went full drip Bayless.
Full drip Bayless. I'm trying to tell you, dog. And I'm all for it because he's like, look, your life sucks. We know that, look, we already know that the system that you're in ain't going to work out in your favor. You tried and you saw what happened on day one. So I'll help you. You help me. All you got to do is already what you've been doing. But now you ain't got to worry about going to jail for it.
When you
Wait,
use
you
the
going to
phrasing "buy your freedom,"
Yeah.
He ain't no doubting.
He bought his freedom, but his freedom was because of circumstances that were not in his control. So now he's like, all right, you want to be free? I got you. But quid pro quo. All I want is a freaking shark with a freaking laser beam on his freaking head.
Quid
And
pro
you can do that
quo.
for me. So let's get it.
You ain't want to join the Flaming Goals. It's your only other choice.
Say you ain't want to join the Flaming Ghost. Don't you want to get some drip like this? Come on, man.
Oh
Plus,
my
also,
gosh.
we know that you like our service, considering like the XOGENASYS thing is something that they were talking about in the beginning that he was subscribed to. He's like, your subscription
Yeah.
expired. How about you actually just be on it? Free subscription,
Exactly.
free like all this stuff for your mom and your sister. You care about them, right? Don't want them to live here, right? While you've been in jail and the Flaming Ghosts can get hecking revenge on your family. I don't think so. Take the money. do my job, honey.
There you go,
Go.
Mel. That's right,
Look,
Mel. Yes.
Look,
She
I'm trying to help
understands.
you out. I'm trying to help you, mother.
I
Right.
ain't
Okay, look.
saying
He ain't no
that
doubting
he's right.
Mustafa.
No.
The
No,
Flamingo,
I'm not saying
look,
that
your
he's right.
circumstances would
But
have
I
been.
am saying that the main character, this is the best shot he got.
This the best shot you got, don't you know?
And I'm gonna
No,
help.
that doesn't
Listen,
work
either
here.
you're gonna be in jail fighting to protect yourself, or you can be out here fighting for some cash.
Get shivved with a
Exactly.
toothbrush.
I'm just trying to
Okay,
help.
look. Did y'all just ignore the part where he tried to minimize the Darius, the fact that this will probably get him killed?
Doesn't
Oh
matter.
no, like I
Because
said, I
his
know that's
current-
bad.
It's bad, but his current path is also probably gonna get him killed.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it
He
will,
can-
because
he can
remember,
defend
he was
himself
going
really
to
easily.
jail. He was going
Gang
to jail.
violence.
Dog, you
no.
already know he can fight his way through the guards. That ain't nothing.
He can go to
What
jail,
about
bro.
his mom and his
I
little
just-
He
sister
would
though?
I
fight.
got one thing to say
No.
about
He would fight his way through the guards, and what's gonna happen to him? You think he ain't gonna get popped? We already saw my man's that tried to escape when he first went there, and he got popped in the head.
He will punch the bullet
Those
back at the
big
person
boys
that
do.
All
fights.
right, see now you just speaking unreal. This ain't that kind
I
of
just got one
This
thing
ain't
to
that-
add.
Hold on.
Just
Go
one.
ahead, Stormray.
The one way I would describe him is he ain't no doubting Mustafa.
Oh my gosh, that's a Disney strike for you.
Okay. Let's move on to story. Okay. Unless anyone has any final things to say about any character.
No.
He ain't a doubting Mustafa.
Oh my god.
I do not like him.
I do.
I'm not saying that you have to like him. I'm just saying that, like,
Mel, that's not directed at you. That's a final thought.
okay,
All right.
I'm on the
All
fence.
right, guys. All right, passengers. We're gonna go to section 3, story. What y'all got?
This will take like 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh,
it's pretty much just Megalobox, man.
What?
It's an anime that came out around 2018, celebrating a boxing manga. And the premise of said anime is people in an underground fighting ring with mechanical enhancements in order to deal more damage to each other.
right.
Kind of like exactly what XOGENASYS is.
Hmm.
Only the difference is we have person on the streets, really good at fighting, gets them into trouble a lot. Only way out is to join said fighting circuit. And that's where we are.
So what you're saying is, it's la la la, I'm the strongest.
Oh no. Oh
Mixed.
no.
Join this
with-
tournament and we will make your
You
wishes
gonna
come
pay
true. This
Oh,
kind of high school
I get
talk.
this,
Oh no.
but
Kind of. It kind of is.
Just a different-
kind of. A little bit.
and look, he's just another one of the people that bring people to the tournament. He just another.
Oh
I don't think we need any more.
And the
discussion
other
for this
dude
story.
was wearing a suit when he invited him. Oh no.
So we got the, yo, you gonna fight strong people guy. You got the, okay, we gonna help pay for your friend's medical bills. And this one, you ain't gotta go to prison, and we gonna, maybe help your mama with some money, Oh no. All her debt from the past cleared up, her late bills paid. Okay, he a pimp.
I
That's
told
it.
you.
I'm good with the story.
I like it.
I think the story was really well done.
Definitely.
Please,
Kid was
why?
in a situation he can't really get out of, having to step on eggshells
Mm-hmm.
just to stay in school, and people expect him to just walk away when other people start trouble with him. Like, was I not supposed to fight? Was I supposed to let them jump me?
Mm-hmm.
Just stand there and be a puncher bag so I can stay in school? Out of here.
It's like the way it's being told, that's legit conversations that people can have, because that's legit conversations that people have nowadays in terms of like people making decisions based on the current circumstances that they're in. And some people don't agree with them, and then some people look at it as, well, what the heck else was he gonna do?
Right? Just a product of your situation.
Mm-hmm.
He got hands, and he used them to protect himself, and got him in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Emil, you got words on the story?
Nothing that I hadn't said already.
Attention passengers, we are now about to end the free roaming period. Gonna have to put that light back on, ask you to buckle your seatbelts as we prepare to make this sharp descent into our final thoughts.
Let's finish this off with final thoughts. Overall thoughts. For me, I will continue reading the series. It's a little, for me, it's a little gray, a little dark, but I still like it. The art is good enough, and the story is good enough, and I'm interested by the main character in this fighting series. This fighting, what is it, sport? I guess, and see where it goes.
Just going based on what you said, it's something I definitely would continue reading. I had a lot of fun reading it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would continue it.
Emil?
I also really liked it. The ending for me made me really want to keep reading. Like, I was pretty on the fence like before the last few pages because I was like I could or could not keep reading, but then I was like, oh, I really want to keep reading this. So I think this will be interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not bad at all. Like in the slightest, it's just not for me.
What makes it not for you?
I personally don't like series that seem overly real. I'm not normally interested in series that are like hyper realistic.
And you
Like,
think this
based in
one
the
is
real world?
There you go. Yeah, that are based in the real world.
In the real world, or just modern real world?
Both.
Kiva.
I see what it's trying to do, and I don't exactly dislike the way the story beats were presented to me. But I probably wouldn't go for it with this on my own, just because while I was going through this, I kind of knew pretty much everything that was going to happen. And this also ended up ending the way I was expecting it to happen too. Because as soon as they showed like the sport in the beginning, I'm like, he already looked like a fighter. He's definitely going to be in with this by the time the chapter's over. And then it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so we're going in that direction. So it's just like another story of, person fighting for the sake of supporting their family, even though there's like grave risk involved to their own personal health thing. It just seems like, I don't know. Doesn't really grip me to continue with it.
Like the second principal pastor said, if you get into another fight, you're going to jail. You knew he was going to get into another fight by the end of the chapter.
Yeah, that pretty much just like...
Attention passengers, this is your Captain Necrosama speaking. We just finished the chapter. We just finished giving our thoughts. As I mentioned before, jump into the description below and you'll be able to find links to where you can read this series presented by Noah Caesar. This has been Top Flight Reads XOGENASYS. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Young Blue Boy from the Trenches for recommending this series. If there's another series you'd like us to read, drop it in the comments below. If you agree or disagree with anything we've said, drop it in the comments below. You enjoyed the video, leave a like.
All right, folks. As you all have heard, it's time for us to get up on out of here. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, it's glad to be back. Glad to come back on a high note. We'll see what happens next week. See y'all then.
This is your flight attendant Stormrave. As you folks exit the plane, be sure to leave your discarded flaming hot Cheeto bags in the appropriate dispensary. I hope you enjoyed the flight, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao.
Attention, flaming hot Cheeto bags. Get yourselves in the garbage can or else I will stick a spear in you and put you there myself.